Your private data was likely used to help Trump get elected, and Facebook did pretty much nothing to stop it from happening. But is anyone really surprised? If you haven't heard the news yet, the data of more than 50 million Facebook users was collected, shared, and stored, probably without their knowledge, in 2014. The bad actor here is the data analytics firm named Cambridge Analytica, which worked with the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election. Facebook claims it asked Cambridge Analytica to delete the data back in 2015. Facebook thought the data was removed until this recent news story broke. So it appears that Facebook didn't really follow up on that 2015 request. This is the biggest personal data scandal in the history of the social network. So you're probably wondering, does this affect me? Short answer, yeah, it does. Unless you deleted your account or ceased to search the internet, there's no true way of protecting all of your data from Facebook or third-party applications. However, there are ways you can safeguard your personal data, like installing software that blocks web tracking, or thoroughly vetting the apps you give access to your Facebook profile, or reconfiguring the settings on your account. But first, let's go over how Facebook allowed this information to be harvested in the first place. An app called This Is Your Digital Life offered to pay Facebook users to take a personality test and agree to share the result for academic use. Roughly 270,000 people saw free money and decided to take the test and share the results. But Cambridge Analytica was able to gather much more data from the app because those who downloaded it gave consent for the app to access information such as friends list, email, interests, and much more. At the time, Facebook's structure was designed in a way that third-party apps could gather information from friends of friends. But the company has made some changes since. In the summer of 2014, Facebook shut down that feature that allowed third-party apps to have access to your friends' status updates, interests, locations, and more. Cambridge Analytica is not the first to do something like this though, and it most likely won't be the last. Third-party apps are known to capture, analyze, store, and even sell your information to data brokers, social media companies, and marketers, all without you even knowing. So now you're probably wondering, how can I avoid this? It's somewhat simple. Just go into your Facebook settings and click on the Apps tab to see which apps are connected to your account and what private information you're sharing with them. And while you're in your settings, you should also go into your Privacy tab and cut back on the information you share publicly, because that's the information third parties mostly have access to. And my final tip is, read the privacy settings. Sure, they're long, boring, and full of legal jargon most people won't bother to read. But at the very least, you can familiarize yourself with services like tldrlegal.com, which breaks things down into plain English, or tosdr.com, which highlights potential issues with services you're signing up for. So until tech companies start being more transparent, and until they start implementing more tools to protect users from invasive third-party apps, it's worth taking the time to check your settings and work with the limited options you have to ward off any unwanted eyes on your private information.